Welcome back to the Hood News Fantasy Football Podcast. This is episode 36, Week 8 previews, Part 2. I got my boys with me, MFB.
I'm back.
Yep, and BBTB.
Finally gets his title back, man, but I'll be second. But yo, it was good, bro. 550, a.k.a. do what it does what it do, you know what I'm saying?
That's enough. We got MFB back from his blender. He made it out alive.
Blendissimo was cooking, bro.
Episode 36. Week 8 previews. Let's jump into it. There's a lot of matchups. No bye weeks. We talked about in the last episode. Number 1 in this episode, Falcons versus Bucks. It, could have been another shootout, but the Bucks are missing their top 2 receivers, so I don't know how this game is going to go. How do you guys feel?
I think it still could be a high-scoring game. I don't think it's going to be a shootout like last time with Kirko having over 500 yards.
5 touchdowns.
Yeah, but I still think it's a good game. So, yeah.
No, he had 4 touchdowns that game. My bad. But still.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the questions are kind of. Let's start with the Falcons. Kirk Cousins, is he startable this game? Last game he went bananas when he played the Bucks last time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that was for the division at home. Now they're on the road against Tampa. Cousins, outside of that game, has not been that good this year. I mean, they've been running the ball a lot more with Bijan and Algier, but Bijan has really picked things up lately, and he's been, kind of what we had hoped he would be this year.
Mm-hmm.
So over the last 2 games, 15 rush attempts, 2 touchdowns, 95 yards. And then last game, 21 attempts, 103 yards, and a touchdown, and then some work in the air.
Mm-hmm.
But how do you guys feel about Cousins? Is he just, do you sit him? Do you hope he does it again and play him this week? Or is he just kind of until we see more?
I personally think that you can stream Cousins this week just because obviously you did crazy last time. Is going to go 500 plus? Probably not, but I feel like he can still do like 250, 300 with a couple tutties in there, which is still great for a streamable quarterback. And this is also for the NFC South title, because if the Bucks somehow win, they're on top of the NFC South for, after week 8. But if the Falcons win, they keep that spot at the top. So I feel like this would be a good game to start him.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I got him like low QB1 finish for this week, Kirk Cousins.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe it.
Drake London, you start. Kyle Pitts has been good over the last 3 weeks. 8 targets, 5 targets, 9 targets, 65 plus yards in the last 3 games. So after that dud week against the Saints, he's been pretty good. I think he's startable in this game.
Definitely. I'm not shitting on Kyle Pitts this time versus the Bucks, by the way. Kyle Pitts is the guy.
Darnell Mooney, who's been kind of back and forth. I mean, he has his good games and then he has his games where he just doesn't do anything or he just doesn't do much, right? He's still involved in the offense. Is he worth a start this week? Is he a flex or do you just sit him?
He's probably definitely in the flex range for me, I would say.
Okay. Yeah, in this matchup, last time he had 9 receptions on 16 targets for 105 yards and 2 touchdowns when he played the Bucks.
Yeah. Last time we had a lot of guys in our Discord. Remember, if you guys are not in the Discord, please join it. Link below. But we had a lot of guys say to start or sit Mooney. We did say sit Mooney. So we're not going to say sit Mooney this time. I feel like you don't sit him. You start him at the flex and see if he does it again. 2 touchdowns is probably a reach, but could be like a 6-7 reception, 70-80 yards. Maybe throw a tutty in there if he's capable of getting that, So I think you flex Mooney for this game.
Okay. On the other side, the Bucks, they lost. Godwin's out for the year. Evans is out until after the bye, so he won't be back for at least. Did they put him on IR, or he's just out?
Yeah. Actually, I don't know about IR, but they have him designated out.
Yeah. Mike Evans till week 12.
Okay. Yeah. After the week 11 bye, they didn't want to put him on IR because then they would miss him for week 12.
Correct.
And they have a bye week, so they didn't put him on there. So, yeah. Anyone else? Do you start Jalen McMillan, the rookie? Is he flex worthy in this game? How about Sterling Shepard, who's now the number 1?
I think this game you're going to find out a lot about how they're running their receivers. So ideally, you want to pick the guy who was like the Godwin role, aka the guy out the slot most of the plays, because Godwin and the Bucs were succeeding heavily with that. And if I had to put chips on it, I'm gonna say it's McMillan, just because he was a huge slot guy in college. Now, how they currently been using him before when Godwin was healthy was like he played the outside, opposite of where Mike Evans played. So I'm gonna really watch the game to see, do they plug McMillan into the slot or not, right? If he does, then hopefully he could like grow and do well in that role. He has had drop passes and he hasn't looked really efficient. I'm not gonna lie, but he's a rookie, so second half of the season maybe he gets better and improves. Could be the real guy to play.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like Sterling Shepard should be the guy. I feel like he's a veteran. I think he's coming from the Giants. I think he obviously wasn't too hot on the Giants, but I feel like he needs to step it up for his team. And since he's the veteran, he's got a big chip on his shoulder. I feel like the coach is like, "Yo, Shep, let's ride," And so I feel like Sterling Shepard could be the guy because I feel like the rookie wasn't looking too hot. The past, I think, he had like a few drop balls. So I feel like Sterling Shepard should be the guy. That's what I'm thinking.
I'm more on the side of Sterling Shepard as well than McMillan. I think you try and sit them if you can this week, and then see how they produce or see how they play. They play Kansas City the following week, and then they play SF and then the bye. So next week will be tough for them. So if you need to play someone, I would I don't know. I would try to look elsewhere, but I would probably play Shepard. What do you do with the running backs? Rashad White he put himself at the top, being the number one, and then Bucky's dealing with a toe injury. He did not practice on Wednesday. And then Sean Tucker, he's also in the mix. So what do you do with the running backs there?
I think right now it's like going to be a dominant backfield of Rashad White and Bucky. I feel like Sean Tucker's kind of like the solidified RB3, right? He only got, 19% snap share. That's RB3 numbers, right?
Right.
So they probably still mix him in, and maybe he does hit like nearly 20% snap share again. But the rest of it is going to be between Rashad White and Bucky. So they're both kind of in the flex, like RB3, maybe RB2 range. It depends which one pops off.
Right. If Bucky doesn't play, do you flex Sean Tucker? Do you ignore him and just think Rashad White's going to get most of the work? Or what do you do?
In the event that Bucky doesn't play, but I feel like he will. He should be okay. But anyways, if he doesn't play, then I think it's like a flex-worthy start if you have Sean Tucker.
Yeah. I think if Bucky doesn't play, I feel like you sit him. I don't think he's going to do much against the Atlanta offense or defense. Sorry. Anyways, on to the next segment.
Wait, just real quick, we forgot to talk about.
So, anyways,
wait, we got to talk about Cade Otton. By the way, I think Cade Otton is going to step up in a bigger role, and that man should start eating this season. I feel like if you got him off the waivers, or if you watched our waiver wire video, Cade Otton solid. Go play Cade Otton this week.
It's interestingly enough, I think it's a trap for Cade Otton this week. He should realistically, no Evans, no Godwin. Cade Otton should eat, right? Like 100%. That makes the most sense. And he's been doing great the last few weeks. He had 10 targets last week, 6 the week before, 4 the week before that. So not that many, but he had 9 targets and 8 targets against Denver and Philly. He's been very solid as a tight end overall the last few weeks. I think this game's a trap. I don't know. If you have him and you pick him off the waivers, trap
for Cade Otton?
Yes, just for Cade Otton.
I mean, I don't got him banging out doing crazy numbers, but I have him maybe reaching like 7 targets again.
Him or Zach Ertz?
On. Kid on for sure.
Probably Otten, yeah.
Okay.
Washington plays the Bears, right? So
yeah, tough defense there.
Little tough, you know.
All right. Anyways, let's move on. Don't want to take too much time. We gotta get to BBTB Saints here. Saints Chargers. Saints, the number one offense in football right now, going bananas, just dominating everyone that they come across. Juwan Johnson, sleeper tight end of the year, has been killing it all season.
Hey, if this was after week 2, like you got it right. We in week 8 now.
I don't think Juwan Johnson did anything. Yeah,
no, I'm talking about the Saints. I'm talking about the
Saints. Yeah. So back to reality. The Saints have looked horrible. Kamara apparently has been playing with a broken hand. He broke his hand against the Chiefs. And so the last 2 weeks he's playing with a broken hand. What's the possibility that
man's a dog, bro?
He's nuts. And it said apparently he also had a fractured rib or something wrong with his ribs too. And he's playing through all of it.
He like a cyborg. He AK-41, bro.
Yeah,
dude, he's been playing through a broken. According to the report, he's been playing through a broken hand the last 2 games, and he's still dealing with broken ribs that he suffered in Week 3 against the Eagles. What the hell?
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. That is pretty crazy.
That dude, is nuts, bro.
If the Saints lose this game and they go 2-6, right, which is a very big possibility. What's the likelihood that they just do they just shut down Kamara? Like, okay, go get healthy, like rest him. Like, why are they going to run him into the ground? Like, what's the purpose of that?
They a few days ago, I think it was either yesterday or 2 days ago, they actually extended him for a 2-year, $25 million deal. Yep. So, and they knew that his probably they knew he's had hurt ribs for a long time. They knew he had a hurt hand for obviously broken hand now. Why would they sign him for 2-year, $25 million? Because I feel like Kamara is a dog and he's still able to play through it. I don't know if you guys remember, he was last year, but he had that 3-game suspension, and then he was dealing with those rib injuries, but he was still fine for the rest of the season. So I don't think they shut him down because they paid him.
Okay, but you have to realize that he's literally the entirety of the offense right now. Like, Rattler looks horrible. And they're playing the Chargers. The Chargers is a very good defense. What's the likelihood Kamara runs out there and goes, all right, bro, I just broke something else. Like, I'm done. Like, I'm just, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that could happen. But that could also happen to any player. I think BBTB is saying they paid him. So, hey, bro, you're going to play because we paid you.
Exactly.
Okay, bro, but couldn't he just say, hey, I want to fix this. I have a broken hand. Can I go get surgery on this, or can I go get fixed?
He could, bro, but he hasn't done that yet, and he played through a broken hand, so why would he do that now, randomly?
Exactly.
I think because they're just losing games. It's like, let me go out there.
It just makes no sense.
Throw my body on the line with broken ribs, broken hand, and just for a fat L to the face, right? Like, to me, as a player,
he plays for himself, kind of he's just a dog.
He's playing for the money.
No. Yeah, obviously that too.
It's there. But at the same time, it's like, if they signed him for that kind of money and they knew he's been hurt for a while, why are they giving him that money? Just to back out after he got the money, bro? You know what I'm saying?
I'm not saying he's going to get shit out for the season. He's like, I don't want to play anymore. Haha, I'm over. Thanks.
He literally just said he might get shut down.
I don't think that's going to happen, but I will say,
no. I'm saying that he wants to get healthy. They're not winning games. Why are they running?
I'm saying, bro, if he wanted to get healthy logically, he would have said that weeks ago when he had broken his hand or rib or whatever.
Correct.
Rather than playing through it.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just saying,
but Kimo, don't get me wrong here though. Obviously, it could get worse. His hand could be it could even get even more broken than what it is. You know?
Yeah, there could be a point where he's like, all right, hey, I gotta stop playing.
100%. To me, it's like you just paid, to me, you just paid this guy as the. I'm not talking about Kamara. I'm talking about the Saints franchise paid this guy. It's like, why would you not want him to be healthy? Are they just
why would? But logically, why would you pay him? Why would you pay him if you know he's not healthy?
That's, I don't know. That's your franchise.
I think you just need your best player on the field. But
I know. I mean, it's the same story with.
I feel that.
I know we're going a little off track here, but it's the same story with Earl Thomas. They didn't want to play Earl Thomas because He was hurt coming back off that injury, finally got healthy. Then he got re-injured again, gave a middle finger to the sideline after he got carted off because them fools never wanted to pay to him or never wanted to pay him. So pretty much it's kind of like the same thing that or it's the opposite where the Saints have so much faith in Kamara, like why back out now? You know what I'm saying?
Look, I'm asking the question.
A quick shout out. Trying to pivot back to fantasy here, right?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Kamara started the season like hot, like he was like the top 3 to 5 range of most valuable RBs,
right?
So if you were a fantasy manager and you traded him like after week 4, because he was a high value, and you got some big bank for it, like props to you.
Yeah,
yep.
That's like 100%. A prime example of you selling high. You got paid out whatever you got, and the stock went down, and you sold at the perfect time.
Yeah.
So just to give a shout out to anyone who did that out there.
We have to go back and look at our week 4 episodes if we talked about selling them high or not. Anyways, for the Saints, basically played Kamara, Olave against this Chargers defense with Rattler throwing the ball. Is he a sit?
Olave? I think if Olave comes back, I think you could flex Olave because Rattler was saying before Olave got hurt that he needs to get Olave the ball. And so I feel like he's going to try to do the same this time. If obviously Olave is good, ready to go, and he's healthy and he's doing good during the game, I think Olave could possibly eat against the Chargers defense. But I know Chargers defense is solid.
Yeah, I think Olave's like like BBTB said, a flex. We got to see how the offense is. We got to see how Rattler is. You know, because the other receivers, I mean, they played Denver, they got smashed, but the other receivers like Bud Means and Tipton, like they weren't like doing it right. They weren't.
Yeah, definitely not. On the Chargers side, J.K. Dobbins, you can start him obviously. Lad McConkey and Quentin Johnston. What do you do with them? Flex.
I think you could flex McConkey, or somehow Will Dissly just takes all the targets again. I don't know how that homie was just doing that all last week, but
do I sense?
I feel like McConkey,
the emotion. Is there a bit of emotion involved there?
Yeah, I was in a guillotine league, man. I need McConkey for a couple more catches, but that's pretty much it. But I feel like McConkey could be the guy this week at flex.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they both have their arguments to be flex worthy. QJ's so like TD dependent though. I feel like Lad sees a lot of the target share in Los Angeles, so he's kind of like the safer, but he's like a floor guy, right? Like a 5 point to 7 point range flex.
All right. Next matchup, we got Bills Seahawks. Amari Cooper got in the end zone last week. Does he do it again this week against the Seahawks? What do you guys think?
Amari Cooper, yeah, probably for sure.
He should. Yeah. I mean, they paid him. He finally probably got the plays down after it's been 2 weeks, you know. So I feel like he was just a better version of Diggs.
Your face is awfully close to the camera, UTV.
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
Really interested in this. I'm just saying, bro. If someone looks at the video, they're gonna just see you like face first in the camera.
Hey man, they get a close up of BBTB, man. It's chilling.
You're gonna start scaring people off.
It's Halloween.
Yeah. Happy Halloween, fellas. Yeah, he had 5 targets last week, 4 receptions and a touchdown. And we talked about, Amari Cooper and Devontae Adams both getting traded and the teams trying to showcase their new players. We didn't see it with Devontae Adams, but Amari Cooper got in the end zone. And I think he's only going to get better as he plays with the team more, as he plays more with Josh Allen. So Amari Cooper definitely probably like wide receiver 2 range. What do you do with these other guys? Khalil Shakir, who last week had 7 targets, caught all 7 of them, 65 yards. And then Keon Coleman, who had 7 targets, got 4 of them. He had 125 yards, got some big plays.
I got Shakir as like a flex, same like right next to McConkey in my tiers right now. Same flex range.
Okay.
Who would you?
Coleman's like, what's that?
So I was gonna say, who would you take though if you had like Shakir or McConkey? You don't know who to start.
I'd take Shakir.
Probably Shakir.
Okay. Shakir has caught every pass that's gone his way besides one. Like every time he had 2 targets against the Jets, he got both of them. Against Baltimore,
well,
he had 5
I would
targets.
be super 50-50 on it.
Yeah.
Keon Coleman's like a deep flex. Maybe like if you're really like you're down for the boom bust potential, then Keon Coleman. Right?
Yeah. James Cook, he's been last week. He had 12 carries, 32 yards. He got in the end zone, and then they just put in Ty Johnson and threw him a little pass up the middle, and he got a touchdown. And then Ray Davis, garbage time touchdown.
Yeah, which is weird. I don't know why they would do that. By the way, like if James
did talk about that, about how they're going to start working in the other running backs. And you guys were like, "Oh, bro, James Cook's the number one, solidified number one. They're never going to do that. That's so dumb. Why would you say that?"
I mean,
you guys both clown me. And your face got even closer to the camera, so it's weirding me out.
Let's rewind, right? Because we had the stud dud recap, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and we literally said James Cook saw all the rushing shares. Yeah, he lost the target share. That's not a good sign at all.
Yeah.
I'm with you, Keem. But he still saw all the rushes.
Yeah,
during when the game was neutral, right?
Right.
So that kind of pings like a higher point.
In this against Seattle, especially if they don't have DK this week, who's dealing with, he did not practice today. He is dealing with a MCL sprain. So it said, according to the report here, it says he's out for the first 2 week 8 practices. Mike McDonald said that he will miss the next 2 practices, and then he'll have his knee reevaluated on Friday. So if he doesn't go, they're down their best, receiver. That game could get out of hand quick with the Bills. They brought Amari Cooper in.
It could. But Bills have also got ran on, right? So the K9 could just kind of have a field day.
Mm-hmm. You're not wrong. Yeah.
Well,
he's,
right? And
Kenneth Walker's
he'll get like a good, probably 15 to maybe 20% target share, Kenneth Walker, and get
easily
yards. So like,
yeah,
I don't see the game being that crazy of like a blowout, right?
Okay.
I'm looking at Vegas over under. They have Bills -3, so it's not that crazy of a blowout, right?
Yeah. Kenneth Walker is an auto start every week. He's looked crazy good, honestly.
Hundo Dundo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's kind of unstoppable right now. As far as the receivers in the Seattle offense, if DK doesn't play, who's going to be the prime benefactor? Is it Lockett or is it Jackson Smith and Jigba?
I think personally, you could start both.
You could start both. I want to say it's Lockett though.
Yeah,
because JSN does a lot out the slot, which he's done with DK on the field anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So it'll be Lockett and, I feel bad. I don't even know their other receiver.
It's Bobo. It's Jake Bobo, and I think Bobo's filling in for DK's position.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't start Bobo.
No, but I feel like someone that you could possibly
like 10
start.
catches, 110 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
He could. He very well could. I just wouldn't do that. I'll let him do that on the waivers.
No, but Bills do have a great passing defense though, so
they do. Yeah. We mentioned a while ago about their too high coverage is solid.
Yeah, but some
vertical, which is where they needed DK for sure.
Yeah, but someone you could possibly start though could be Noah Fant though at tight end if you don't know who to start.
Yeah,
I'd definitely take that risk.
Yeah, I would.
Just some kind of gamble kind of play because you don't know who to play.
Targets could go his way. Yeah, if you have Noah Fant, he might be a decent start at tight end. Mm-hmm. On to the next matchup. Anything else for Bills Seahawks? Is Geno Smith streamable against this Bills defense? Geno Smith.
If you're looking for,
I got him like mid QB2.
Geno Smith or Kirk Cousins?
Kirk Cousins. All
right, cool. We're on the same page there.
Yeah.
On to the next matchup. Bears Commanders. On the Bears side, I think DJ Moore had a bad game last week against Jacksonville, which I did not see coming. It was kind of the Keenan Allen
show and Cole Kmet show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, both those guys did their thing. DJ Moore, I think he bounces back this week. You got to start him, and if you have him, you start him.
Yeah.
Of the other two guys, Keenan Allen and Romo Dunze, who do you feel more comfortable starting?
This is a tough one. I'll be honest. I don't feel comfortable with starting either, just because I feel like this could be a defensive game. Commanders have stepped up their defense tremendously, and obviously the Bears' defense is great too. Daniels might not be a go this week, so I feel like Bears can obviously capitalize on their second string QB. So I'm not confident with starting.
I mean, the Bears are favored to win.
Yeah,
I think I have Keenan Allen over Rome Odunze to answer Keem's original question here.
Yeah,
like Rome,
I'm in the same boat.
I love Rome as a player and talent. He just hasn't like cemented a role yet this week.
Yeah.
So I have Keenan Allen like in the flex range, kind of next to McConkey and Shakir, like in that range of players.
But I wouldn't start those with confidence though. That's just me right now.
I mean, if you have to,
of course, this is like flex, like
yeah.
DeAndre Swift, he's been good. The last 3 games, he had 16 carries, 21 carries, 17 carries, and a touchdown in all 3 of those games before the bye. He's looked good. So keep him in your lineup until he proves that he can't do it anymore, or he just first 3 weeks.
I got him as like high RB2 this week.
Yeah, the first 3 weeks of the season were just not good. He looked stale, didn't look like he had any explosiveness, nothing, and then just turned it around. I guess he just heard what everyone was saying, was like, nope, I'm just going to prove everyone wrong. So he's been solid overall in fantasy. So if you have him, start him.
Yeah.
On the Washington side, Jaden Daniels did not practice on Wednesday. Do you guys think he's going to start this week against a tough Chicago defense?
I don't think he starts this week.
Yeah, me neither.
I'm just thinking like in a broader sense, like I'm not gonna I have a star rookie QB. He got kind of hurt. Sounds like he avoided a major injury. So let me be safe and rest him.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, definitely. I agree 100%.
It's not like a divisional match.
They clearly care about their players over there instead of the Saints. They just run Kamara into the ground. Jaden Daniels,
and Taysom Hill to the ground too.
Preserve Jaden. If Jaden Daniels does not play, do you trust any of the receivers on the Commander side, including Terry?
I mean, yeah, like you roll out Terry. The other guys, it's like so like murky. You don't know where the ball's gonna go, except maybe Ertz somewhat.
Yeah,
but yeah, Terry's like mid wide receiver too. Like I got him kind of around like Pickens range of the week. I think Terry will be okay.
Yeah, same.
But it is Chicago, so
it's Chicago. I mean, they have down. You got to realize that Marcus Mariota is the backup quarterback, and he looked solid against Carolina, but against Chicago, the Chicago defense, I don't feel comfortable starting any of these guys.
One thing I'll note is that, and Washington's like kind of smart for this. Mariota's also like the same like archetype of QB as Jaden Daniels is, right?
Right.
Same type of lob to wide to the sideline and same like running style. He can scramble. I don't know if you remember watching Mariota.
Yeah. No, he's a more mobile.
On the 10 of the teams that he played for. He's played for like 20 teams.
Bro, they bounced around all over the league.
Like the offense should be like working kind of
in the same way, like
synergize well. That's what I meant to say. Right?
Yeah. I don't feel comfortable starting these guys against Chicago, especially if Jaden Daniels isn't playing. I know that the system is geared towards Jaden Daniels and Marcus Mariota kind of fits the archetype, but I would be trying to find alternatives if I can to Terry McLaurin. The other guys, I would ignore the other receivers.
Yeah.
And by the way, if Mariota goes and Daniels can't go, I'd probably start the Bears defense, man, against the Commanders.
Trust me, I think you're starting Bears defense either way.
I mean,
you have Bears defense. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the Commanders have been hot. They dropped 40 points last week. Great, you know what I'm saying? So could be
especially if Mariota plays, Bears defense is definitely worth a stab. Brian Robinson, keep him in your lineups. He's getting all the volume. Eckler's not doing much. Last week he had 4 carries. And then I don't know the third string. I forget his name. McNichols, whatever.
Yeah.
Ignore them.
Yeah, McNichols.
He had more carries than Eckler last week. Just something to note. But anyways, Brian Robinson's the only one worth starting. On to the next matchup. Chiefs Raiders. This is going to be a complete blowout. Chiefs got DeAndre Hopkins. Yeah. From the Titans. We talked about
Future
Titan matchup.
Hall of Famer, right?
Mhm.
He's for sure going Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Really?
Did you like him when he was on Arizona?
Bro, he was a dog, man. Watching that game when he caught the overtime, or not overtime, it was like the last minute Hail Mary to up in the end zone, covered by like 3 people.
Yeah.
Man. And I had both of them that year. I had D-Hop and Kyler Murray. I was tripping. Woo, I started running around the room, man. That was a great game. But then he never did anything like that ever again.
This is definitely big news. I don't know if we made predictions for who's going to the Chiefs.
There was a lot of
somebody
rumors
was going to the Chiefs. I thought it was between either Christian Kirk or Calvin Ridley. Ended up being D-Hop. I'm happy for D-Hop, bro. He's a baller. He's older now. We'll see how he does, but he should obviously do a lot better than Tennessee, bro.
Yeah,
definitely.
I mean, the Chiefs are playing the Raiders. Mahomes hasn't looked good. He hasn't had a lot of receivers. I think him and D-Hop. This is a tough one. Do you start D-Hop if you have him, or do you sit him and wait and see?
You could.
I think I would start him as a flex. Looking at the line, bro, Chiefs are favored by 10. So this could just be like pound him with Kareem Hunt, like type of game.
Pause.
And Kelsey on some out route. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they don't got to do much here, bro. It seems like.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, this is kind of what was expected. Even without D-Hop there, it just looked like the Chiefs defense is probably just going to completely shut down the Raiders, and then they would just run the ball. That was kind of my kind of how I felt. Kelsey, what do you do with Kelsey, man?
All right, Kelsey take right here.
He might finish like top 3.
That's what I'm saying. Kelsey take. I think Kelsey can finish top 3. He had 4 touchdowns against them 2 years ago. And after that, he was still solid, receiving 6 to 7 receptions a game.
Bro, that was 2 years ago, bro.
I understand. But what I'm saying is, though, he can still do that against the Raiders. You know what I'm saying?
He hasn't done anything this whole year.
Listen, brother, this could be the week. And I'm a Kelsey owner. And you play Kelsey. That's all I'm saying.
All right, bro. You guys are talking to a guy that has Kelsey on his fantasy team. So
that is correct.
This is the guy that told you guys to start Juwan Johnson with confidence last week.
Juwan Johnson jokes are dead.
It's fine. We're past Juwan Johnson, man.
Yeah, but Kelsey, I think you start him.
I mean, if you have Kelsey, you probably don't have other options. Kelsey or K. Dotton?
I have both.
Interesting
I
question.
have both.
Who do you start at?
It's not that interesting, bro. You're starting Kelsey.
I'm
going to start Kelsey.
I think that's about it for the Chiefs. Kareem Hunt has been on fire. You play him, and especially if they are just up by a lot, he's going to get a lot of work. So he'll be great. On the Raiders side, it's pretty straightforward.
Just real quick, it just a controversy kind of question
with you. Yeah,
real quick. That's always quick. But anyway, is Mahomes just gotten worse over the years, or is it just that his defense is so good that he doesn't need to play crazy? I'm just curious, by the way.
I think it's the latter, right? We also talked about this on the recap, right? I said he has the Peyton Manning role on the Broncos that won the Super Bowl. Defense hella raw, run game solid. Throw a couple completions, brother. We'll be good. That's it.
Yeah. Okay.
He's
still Mahomes though.
In his
like low key, he's still not that old.
In his last 2 games, he's thrown 0 touchdowns and 3 interceptions.
Yeah, I saw that.
He had the bye week, but he played the Saints week 5 and then SF this last week. So he did have a rush touchdown last week, which probably saved. Oh, he was still on the death list. He didn't do well.
Yeah,
what do you do with Mahomes? Do you try and stream a quarterback, or do you just play him plug and play?
I'd start.
I think you play him this week.
Russell Wilson against the Giants on Monday Night Football, or Patrick Mahomes when they run the ball, when the defense wins in the game.
Damn, that's
This is a tough one. People went out and got Russell Wilson.
Yeah, and I mean, I did say go get Russell Wilson as one of the last episode. So
no, I'd still roll Mahomes here. I will say this: like, I think the last years,
these are the tough questions.
The Raiders and Chiefs split like they're both their divisional games.
Yeah,
like low-key, the Raiders will take one of them.
Yeah.
No, I don't know if that's this week or week like whatever week it is, like 15 or something when they play them again.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
On the Raiders, on the Raiders side, Brock Bowers, you start him. He's been great this year. One of the top tight ends. Jacoby Myers practiced on Wednesday. He didn't play the last 2 games due to an ankle injury. It looks like he's going to play this week. Aiden O'Connell's out with didn't he?
He fractured his hand.
That's what it was.
Yeah, they signed Desmond Ridder, I think.
Yeah.
Yes. So
good luck.
Good luck. Yeah. I mean, good luck to Brock Bowers and even Jacoby Myers if he plays. Alexander Madison against the number 1 rush defense. Do you try to pivot off of him or
sit him?
Sit Alexander Madison.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you don't have an option, you just roll him out. You probably don't have if he's your RB2, I'm sorry.
Divisional game, so you could play a divisional game kind of player. So
yeah,
but I
mean Madison is like the best talent on the team currently.
I would argue it's Brock Bowers.
Oh, Brock Bowers. Yeah.
Yeah. But
as far as the backfield, he's the most talented.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On to the Panthers versus Broncos. Andy Dalton got into a car accident and cannot play this week. So Bryce Young's been named the starter this week.
He got in a car accident, bro?
Yes. He injured his hand, I think.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Car accident. Injured his hand. Cannot go this week. Bryce Young's been named the starter. And against the Broncos, if you have the Broncos defense, you are chilling.
Easily. On the Panthers side, don't start a Panthers player. Period.
Very simple.
No need to go into more information. Not even Chuba Hubbard.
No,
not even Chuba Hubbard, bro. They're not getting the end zone. But if there's some kind of parlay or some shit or some kind of bet that the Panthers are not even gonna score a touchdown, I'd take that. They're not even getting close.
I mean, so
they're not scoring a touchdown.
We talked about the last matchup. Chiefs were favored 10. Broncos are favored 9.5.
Yeah, I think they could hit that. I think they're going to win by 25.
No. I don't think so. I think it's a Vegas trap. I think everyone's going to hit the over.
What?
The Broncos are going to win what? Yeah, I think it's a trap. It's another trap game. I don't think the Broncos lose this game by any means, but
100%.
But I think you can play. Chuba. I think he'll probably be the best producer on that team.
I would say Chuba's like downgraded to flex.
Yes.
Now, what about like receivers like Deontay Johnson?
No,
dude, I don't trust any of them, man.
He has
Bryce
2.
Young. I just don't. Yeah. Pat Surtain's back from that concussion, right?
Done. Yeah, cleared.
MFB, the Broncos specialist. Let us know.
Should be.
Yeah,
right,
look,
we'll check it.
But I would start Madison over Chuba Hubbard versus the Chiefs.
Against the Chiefs? No.
Yes. I'm not playing Chuba Hubbard against the Broncos, bro. Please, if you're gonna put him at the flex, I would stream a different flex. Simple. Do not play Chuba Hubbard this week.
Would you play Chuba Hubbard or would you play Christian Watson against Jacksonville? As a flex, he downgraded him to flex. He said,
I'm not a big fan of Watson.
Watson's on waivers.
That is true. I
might hit Watson for the flex.
For the fun of it.
Like if you're feeling risky against Jax, bro.
You know what? Give me Watson just because MFB said Watson, bruh. Give me
Hey,
Watson,
bro.
bro.
All right.
I'm
So
saying it's like a huge dice roll, but like if you want
I
Don't
20
play
point
Chuba,
flex,
bro. Bench that homie
possibly.
Chuba. I'm just saying we can recap this on the next week's video, bro. But I don't think you play Chuba.
you can flex him. Onto
And you for sure
I mean,
benching
that's
Bryce
it.
Young. Anyways, next.
Yeah, Panthers side has been done. Broncos side, I don't know if you start any of the receivers. It's all kind of up in the air.
Receivers is a mess there.
Yeah, I mean, we thought Cortland Sutton was
BBT tripping for starting Cortland Sutton, bro.
Man. Bro,
Donut
but how am I supposed to know a straight donut? And the thing is, though, it's not like he was trash. They just didn't need him.
They just
I know, I
didn't use him.
understand that. I didn't expect the donut
frustrating.
either, but like I wasn't confident in starting him. I'm not confident with starting any Broncos receiver right now.
Mm-hmm.
They're all kind of fighting for like the top target share. Javonte Williams though, looking good, looking better.
Yes, he definitely looked better. He doesn't look like his 2021 form. He's not as explosive, not breaking as many tackles, but he did do very well last week against the Saints. He had 2 touchdowns, and he had pretty much all the carries in that game against Carolina defense is giving up the most yards on the ground. You can start Javonte Williams.
But personally, though, like I feel like that performance that he had against the Saints is that confidence booster that he needed. And I really think Javonte Williams is the guy going forward. I feel like just that's it. Like he just ran like a dog. I know the Saints are beat up on defensively, but I feel like that was the boost that he needed. And I feel like Javonte could be the guy for the rest of the season.
I think if he does it again, he should do it again this week. But they tried to work in that rookie Estime, but he fumbled last week, and then I think that was it for him. Like that was all the coach needed to see, and so the coach was like, "Yeah, you're good." And so Javonte's getting the majority of the work now going forward. Yeah, McLaughlin hasn't looked that good either. He's not looked as good as Javonte, so Javonte's the number one, and hopefully going forward, they probably keep it that way. That's about it on the Broncos side. Do you guys want to talk about Bo Nix, streaming option versus Carolina?
Probably a decent streamer.
I think he gets some rushes.
We saw Mariota slice and dice Carolina up, so Bo Nix could do it. Bo Nix also been rushing pretty good, so
yeah, he is a rushing quarterback. There. Yeah, Sean Payton's making him look good.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll scheme some stuff up for him. On to the Sunday night football game, Cowboys-Niners in Santa Clara. Cowboys are hopefully going to bounce back after that performance they had. When they got absolutely worked before the bye, that was
pathetic.
It was a terrible game. They got what was it, like 47-9 Detroit.
Yeah.
I think Dak bounces back. I think CD bounces back. All these guys. I think you could start obviously CD, Dak. Rico Dowdle is probably flex for the RB2 range, maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
Jake Ferguson's a start. And then how do you guys feel about Tolbert, the second wide receiver there?
I think you can flex him.
Probably like a low flex.
Yeah, I try to get lucky with the if you flex him
lower than Ladd for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lower than Ladd, lower than Njigba and Lockett, lower than.
So I said that the Cowboys bounce back this week. Do you guys believe that? Do you guys agree or do you guys disagree?
I think they'll do better. I think Niners. Man, it's kind of hard to say Niners will win, but I just feel like Niners will take it, bro. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, then
I feel like Niners like Shanahan will coach something up and beat the Niners. Beat the Cowboys, sorry.
Yeah. I mean, the Niners, anything else for the Cowboys side, or is that it? Do you guys want to talk
honestly,
about
I feel like the Cowboys can pull through with this. I feel like, I don't know, the Niners don't look healthy. Everyone's pretty much hurt. There's those Kittle, Debo, Jennings, they probably are going to play, but they're playing hurt. You know what I'm saying? But Cowboys coming fresh off a bye, healed up what if they had any injuries, healed up. Like mentally, like, all right, boys, let's dial in middle of the season. I feel like the Cowboys might
I'm gonna go on a limb here. I'm gonna say this is a kicker game. This gonna be a big kicker game.
Hey, I mean, I got Aubrey.
Hey, there might be like, okay, over under field goals in this game 7. What are y'all calling?
Like combination between the two?
Total, yeah, field goals 7.
I'm gonna go under.
I'm gonna go under. Yeah, I'm gonna go under.
I mean, it could be under? 6 though, but like I'd probably go under on that.
I'm gonna hit over, bro.
You know, I'm in the middle. I'll take the middle 7.
I'm gonna hit over, bro. That's my feeling. But anyway,
yeah.
Sorry.
On the SF side, Brock Purdy has had decent games. You know, he did all right. Threw 3 interceptions.
3 interceptions, brother.
Sorry.
Yeah.
3 touchdowns against Seattle. 3 touchdowns against Seattle.
Oh, shit.
I'm looking at Seattle's matchup. He threw 3 touchdowns against Seattle. But yeah, 3 interceptions against Kansas City. He flipped the script there. He did have 2 rush touchdowns, which is good. But yeah, Dallas has been not good, or been a good matchup for quarterbacks. But they did lose Ayuk for the year.
Mm-hmm.
So Debo was sick. He did not practice Wednesday, apparently because of his wrist as well. Mm-hmm. Juwan Jennings not practicing Wednesday. If they don't have Debo, I think if they don't have, and then George Kittle also not practicing with a foot injury. If those guys are all out, that you don't start Brock Purdy.
Or start Cowboys defense, maybe?
Yes. Pick up the Cowboys defense and start them. Because they have Ricky Pearsall, who got shot in the chest. Like,
that's their healthiest player, bro. A player that got shot in the chest.
Literally, he got shot in SF here. Like, not far from where we're at. So yeah, that's their most healthy receiver right now. Jacob Cowing, Chris Conley. I don't know these guys.
Right, bro, you're getting a little bit too deep, bro.
I don't know. Do you know these guys?
For all the viewers in like 20 and 24 man leagues,
bro. Yeah, you're not touching any of these guys. It's basically just going to be.
Might be cool. He's like a flex play for me.
He's not practicing. That's what I'm saying. Is like if he doesn't wait. So he was on the waiver episode.
I feel like he'll be okay, or he'll be good to play.
He didn't play last week, but we'll see. If he plays, you play him because he stepped up big with no Debo there, with no Ayuk. Someone's missing from that offense. He could step up and do his thing. You start Jordan Mason. If he plays, he's dealing with a shoulder, limited in practice. He should play. That's it for the Niners. Anything else you want to add?
Don't play Niners defense.
Yeah, agreed.
Don't play Niners defense.
Agreed. Monday Night Football, Giants Steelers. The Giants looked horrible last week, and Daniel Jones looked absolutely just stale, not good. Couldn't connect with his receivers. Couldn't do anything. Ended up getting benched for the fourth quarter.
Crazy.
You hate to see it if you're a Malik Neighbors owner, but they played the Pittsburgh Steelers this week, who was a tough defense. How do you guys feel about Malik Neighbors this week?
Look, if I'm a Neighbors owner, I think I said on last episode, I'm selling Neighbors. I don't think Neighbors is a dog himself. He's crazy, but he's on a team with Daniel Jones. I don't think Neighbors going to eat like that this week. I feel like the Steelers, his defense is so good. TJ Watt, absolute dog, number 1 pressure, getting to the quarterback. I don't think he eats this week, man. I don't think so.
I think, I agree with you. Steelers D is really good.
Mm-hmm.
But Neighbors still like just a volume hog. He's going to get targets. He's going to be decent. He's going to finish decent. Maybe he's limited to like no touchdowns this game, but still will finish like off of catches and yards. Will still finish high wide receiver 2. That's kind of my take. I think Daniel Jones does have another like trash game though. I think Steelers like thrash Giants.
But the thing is though, it's like the Steelers know that their only guy is literally Malik Neighbors. They're obviously going to scheme up. Like, but look what they did to Devontae last week, and look what they did to Garrett Wilson. I think they combined for less than like 12 fantasy points, 13 like combined, you know?
Yeah, but there was also some drop.
I mean, Garrett Wilson, like it hit him in the chest, it popped up, they intercepted it, like things like that.
That's
like,
what I was going to say. There were some weird drops that game too.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say though is that listen, the Jets offense is significantly. The Jets offense is significantly.
Are you okay?
Brother, I'm chilling, brother. Give me a second.
Yeah.
The Jets offense is significantly better than the Giants offense. So the
Yep.
Steelers are obviously going to know how to scheme up for that Giants offense. So I don't even think you start a Giants player. Like, you obviously drafted Neighbors, you saw what he could do. You're probably going to put him at the flex if he goes off, but don't have high expectations just because of how good the Steelers is.
Look, I'm gonna be honest. Daniel Jones got benched last week after his performance in the fourth quarter. I think he plays better this week, even though it's against a Pittsburgh defense that's very tough. It does something to your, like, mentally being like benched as a player. It's like, it's not a good feeling. We saw it happen with, I mean, there was Javonte Williams on the Broncos against the Chargers, fumbled the ball, got benched, right? Or they just like didn't let him play. Like, he just, like, for that reason. Next game came out against the Saints and went crazy, right? When you bench a player, it's a statement like, you suck so bad that we don't even want you to embarrass yourself out there anymore. Get on the bench. Like, to me, it does something to the player that they need to step up and they need to do something to, like, prove that, like, hey, I can still do
that's
it.
like if you're a dog, you know? But Daniel Jones is like,
no, but at the same time,
I'm not saying like Daniel Jones is going to be a streamable option this week. He's going to go crazy. Like, no, nothing like that. I'm just saying, I think he does better than last week.
I mean, he has to, but at the same time, it's like
he does not have to. This is a good Pittsburgh defense.
he might do worse than last week.
I'm saying he has to for himself. You know what I'm saying?
He needs to, yeah. But he already got paid, so there's no motivation really. But it's the mental, like the mental effects of being benched.
But at the same time, you're comparing Javonte, because when he fumbled the week before and then he went off on the Saints have a banged up defense. But right now you're talking about a top 3 defense with probably the number 1 D-line and a great secondary. Right. I don't see this game. Like, I have the Steelers just dogging the Giants, like dogging them.
Yeah. So, I mean, I see that too. I just think that I think Daniel Jones will do better than what we were thinking. After that, he has to kind of bounce back. Sure. Anyways, Tyrone Tracy and Singletary, you kind of bench them both, especially against this defense. Tyrone Tracy is the back to have, but in this game, I don't think either of them do anything, especially if they're sharing touches. Onto the Steelers. Najee's been looking good. And he's been doing, I mean, he got a garbage time touchdown last week. Jaylen Warren's getting worked back into that backfield. Do you guys feel confident starting Najee?
Yeah. I think Najee probably has another decent game this week.
Me too.
But that's a very good point, is that with the return of Jaylen Warren, he is like sharing a lot of snaps. So not that like there's going to be a Warren takeover this week. Yeah. But in 2 to 3 weeks from now, I wouldn't be surprised.
Okay. Russell Wilson looked good last week against the Jets defense, was really good. And then George Pickens as well. Both look good. Russell Wilson, is he a streaming option?
Yes, definitely.
Where do you rank George Pickens?
I think he could finish high wide receiver too.
I got him, yeah. I got him like mid receiver too. Like I got him like next to Terry McLaurin, Brian Thomas range for this week.
Okay.
Honestly, potentially he could even be low wide receiver 1 with one crazy deep ball catch, like the one that AJ Brown had last week. I feel like he could pull that same thing off.
I'm not gonna lie, his catches are ridiculous, bro.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, he's a dog.
That's what, like his job is not made easy.
Yeah, he's a dog.
In the studs episode, the last episode we had, I mentioned that he made Russell Wilson look good, because he was catching some crazy passes. That's it for the Steelers. Anyone else that you guys feel comfortable starting, or maybe Freiermuth?
Freiermuth, you could probably put at tight end if you need one.
Yeah.
Maybe Calvin Austin. I think Calvin Austin III. I think you could maybe flex him.
If you're watching this episode, you saw him make a face. I don't. Nah.
We'll probably you probably flex someone on Sunday and you don't want to leave Calvin Austin as the guy that you need to win. So I'd probably say actually just lay off, on Monday night and have that stress for an entire 24 hours.
There's plenty of better options than Calvin Austin, bro.
There's
you're right.
Options.
Yeah.
Calvin Austin or Christian Watson?
Calvin Austin. Done.
What? Christian Watson.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I just want to see your face, bro. Halloween.
Incoming Calvin Austin, 8 fucking catches for 120 and 2 tugs.
Could happen, bro.
Watch. Anyways, that'll do it for this episode. Football. You have 16 matchups, no buys this week, so that's good for fantasy and for football. We will recap and talk about the studs and duds next week on our next episode. Thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.
Peace.